If you want to insult a woman, call her a prostitute. If you want to insult a man, call him a woman, or refer to him as woman genitalia. Sad. Not the most empowering thing you expect to find on Wordsmith, right? Now here's the interesting thing. Those aren't my words. Those are the words of an author, Amanda Montell. She wrote a book called Wordsmith. Now I was sitting back thinking to myself, I want to create content that is empowering, enlightening for my followers and celebrate women while I'm doing so. So I unpacked the word woman and all the topics I could think of that relate to women. And the deeper I dug, the more information that I found of how language and society's biases and society's assumptions and beliefs are so intertwined. I thought to myself, I'd be doing a disservice if I did not highlight, this disparity in our language, how language is gendered. And we've all heard this, but I'm coming from a different angle. I'm going to highlight these things in our language, but more so, show you a different way of how to celebrate Women's Day, International Women's Month, International Women's Day, or South Africa's Women's Day as we're celebrating right now. Stick with me on this journey. Unpack how language can trip us up. How language plays such a huge role in our society, but more so how we can celebrate our women in a more meaningful way and rise above this disparity, these biases that we find in our language today. People, this is an interesting one today. Let's go. Perfect. Let's go. All right, so let's backtrack here. Language has many functions, all right? Two of the main functions that a lot of linguists agree on is that it provides one, a platform for which you communicate ideas and share instructions, where the addressor and the addressee, we perceive things in a similar way. We don't really care that a word is now female specific or it's gendered, and way back in the day, it was actually a neutral word. We don't care, we just get along with our day, all right? Definition number 2 is a bit deeper. It's a platform or a tool in which we share explicit assumptions and beliefs and influence behavioral models. Ultimately, language is a tool with which we transmit society's deep biases, beliefs, assumptions over time. All right, I know none of this is very new to any one of you, but bear with me. What's my point? Quite simple. The English language, or if you're English speaking, you'll see that language routinely discriminates against women in many deep shapes and forms. Here's the kicker. Have you ever heard of the word perjuration? Perjure what? You got that? Perjuration. So that's a long fancy word for saying that historically a word had a neutral or a positive meaning. And over time, it was degraded, depreciated to a point where it has a negative connotation. Where inherently in society, it's eroded its meaning, and we, over time, assume that this word has this negative meaning. Let's consider a few examples like your matched gendered pairs. Master, mistress. Those are two words that refer to people in a position of authority. It was Old French, it came into English, and what's happened over time? Mistress has been perjurized. We now refer to a woman who has sex with a married man as being a mistress. On the flip side, master has upgraded in terms of how we refer to it. Over and above master being the head of a household or someone who takes care of goods, we also refer to someone who's proficient at a skill like playing the guitar or cooking as being a master. Talking about cooking, when last did you watch a show called Mistress Chef? Take it further. Sir, madam, sir, let's get out the way. Madam, you now referred to as a lady who is the head of a brothel. How about hussy? Hussy was an old word that you use, or shortened word for huswife. I hope I'm pronouncing that well. That was an old English way of referring to a housewife. Now again, prostitute. Let's take it further. Tart. Tart was you would refer to a pastry or a pie, and later was an endearing way to refer to women. Where did we go again with that? Prostitute. I could go on for days. You still have words like slut, bitch, How about when you're referring to guys, and guys know this very well, when you want to insult a guy, you say he's a sissy, or he's a wuss, or oh, he's a little pussy, right? Those are all words, sounds explicit, but these are words we use on a daily, and directly and indirectly we're referring to women in the bad light, or their genitalia to insult a guy. All this has led to believing that if you want to insult a woman, refer to her as food, inhumane, or a sex worker. If you want to insult a man, refer to him as being a woman, or girly, or a part or genitals of a woman that refer to a woman. Okay, enough with the examples, the linguistics, and the history. Let's get into the minutiae of everything and get the Wordsmith take on how to switch things around. So the conclusion we all familiar with, that we all know, is that there's a huge masculine energy that runs the world, the patriarchal system, especially within the Western world. It's intertwined in the language and society, and both reinforce each other. And it's almost encoded in all of us. Changing society, changing language may not be the one solution for us. But how about I make a change in myself that truly reflects a celebration of women? My solution is energy-based, all right? Before you think I'm loony, follow me on this one. As I've mentioned, language over time, language and society have developed a masculine and patriarchal narrative. Masculinity is a form of energy. Each and every one of us is energy, male and female. We're all energy, and we have in us two energies, feminine and masculine energy within us. Men, generally speaking, predominantly have a masculine energy at their core. That energy is associated with being assertive, action-oriented, problem-solving, decision-making, giving, or providing. Females, generally speaking, predominantly have at their core a feminine energy, which is associated with feeling, being, vulnerability, expression or openness of your emotions, all right, and receiving. That's the association with the energies. And we all know that males can display predominantly a feminine energy and females a predominantly masculine energy. But here's the kicker. Language and society have taught me over time to man up, grow a pair, stop being a girl. At what point was I ever taught to woman up? So if you actually think about it, indirectly, I've been taught to suppress my feminine energy. Meaning that if I suppress my ability to express my emotions, be vulnerable, be open, be in the moment, feel when necessary, because these energies coexist in me, I then outwardly oppress people who display that feminine energy, which then, generally speaking, is women. So my solution starts with me, giving myself permission to express, acknowledge, celebrate the feminine energy that resides in me. Saying when the moment is right, I can woman up. I can express my emotions to my family, to my wife. And yes, at the core I have a masculine energy, but when I engage with someone who has at their core feminine energy, giving them permission to express that is the best celebration. So if you think about it, how often do we allow ourselves to express this energy? Feminists, I believe, are not concerned with gender equality. They're more concerned with energy balancing. This masculine energy is all around, where we're taught to be problem-solving, decisive, assertive, etc. And that is all good and well, but feel from time to time. Be vulnerable. Now, I'm going to cover this word. Vulnerable, not weak. Express your emotion. All good, positive things that come with this feminine energy that we all have. But society and language has said, no, that's wrong. And outwardly, we then oppress women. Or men as well, who express that energy. Let that resonate with you. The energy is super important, and that's how I choose to celebrate this feminine energy around me, is to celebrate it within me, acknowledge it within me. And for as long as I celebrate it within me, I give myself permission to see myself in you and me. Happy Women's Day, Happy Women's Month? Nah. I choose to celebrate, express, acknowledge feminine energy. That is the best form of celebration that I could give. I use Wordsmith TV to highlight language, words, and ultimately unite people using language and words, right? And create empowering meanings. And this video in particular, I do appreciate could easily be divisive, could easily have people who differ in opinions and perspective, and I appreciate that. Please share that with me in the comment section. If you disagree, if you agree, or if you have a different form of expression of feminine energy or women as a whole. All right, I'd love to hear that. But ultimately, my intention is to celebrate. My intention is to create content that can unite us all. Get you thinking about the words, the language, your society on a day-to-day basis, and how it could easily trip you up. I always say, your words are incredibly powerful. Use them wisely. You know what you can use more wisely as well right now? Your thumb. Give this video a thumbs up or a thumbs down if you liked or disliked the video. More importantly, click subscribe. I share videos on a weekly basis now, sharing words, language, and how it can trip us up, but more importantly, how it can empower us on our day-to-day. These are tools we have on our day-to-day, and this is the content I share on this channel. Guys, once again, your words are incredibly powerful. Use them wisely. See you next week. Cheers.